What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Beausoleil, and that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
I was just remarking just before this, I don't really remember what I played yesterday. If anything, some frustrating Siege at night. That was it.
Yeah, we didn't fare too well, did we? No.
I have a weird day off.
It was yeah, it's one of those things. Man, I'm always playing something. I'm playing stuff.
I need to rest my eyes. So it was a good day overall.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, we are early this morning. We got a couple things going on today, so we decided to jump here live at 11 a.m. Eastern, going back to our old schedule just for today. But normally people can join us noon Eastern over on twitch.tv/theofficialitg, as well as youtube.com/theofficialitg. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Dude, today's show is a hot one. Spider-Man 2 rumors are saying the game will release this September and will go up against Bethesda's Starfield. Oh, that's a hot one. Netflix has their writer for the upcoming Gears of War film, and Crash Team Rumble has a release date, Scott. That's an interesting one, too. I was just like, really? Who thought that would be coming, and why?
Anytime I see Rumble in a title now, I get nervous. I think of Rumbleverse.
Rest in peace, Rumbleverse. Dude, let's kick it over to Andy Robinson over at VGC, as he has this to say. PlayStation's Spider-Man sequel is currently aiming to release in September, as an actor has claimed on social media. Oh, Scott.
Yeah, he is not the official spokesman.
No, he's not. Tony Todd, who plays Venom in the Insomniac-developed sequel, seemingly broke protocol on Tuesday by telling a fan that Spider-Man 2's release month looks like September. This is the same release window publishing sources had recently told VGC to expect the game. Quote, looks like September. Massive publicity coming in August. Commercials start dropping in August, so I'm told. Hold on to your ... and hold breath. Gonna be necessary, end quote, Todd wrote. Dude, not a good thing to do. In December, developer Insomniac Games announced that Spider-Man 2 was scheduled to release this fall/autumn. A September release for PlayStation flagship 2023 game would put it up against Xbox, none other than Starfield, Scott.
Well, that is a worthy contender, really. There's only a short list, and God of War is already released. So what do you put up against Starfield, really?
Here's the thing. Do you put anything up against Starfield, or should you just run away? Spider-Man, I get, is a massive IP, right? Massive. It does fabulous numbers. It's incredible. The game from Insomniac, the first one was awesome. Miles Morales, fantastic game. Everybody's excited for 2. But dude, don't tell me that people aren't hyped for Starfield. Right?
Yeah, I think that one has the crown right now for hype.
It does. I think it really, really does, right? It kind of might even outshine Spider-Man in some regard. Now, if you don't have an Xbox, not a problem. You go to Spider-Man. If you have both consoles and only have the budget for one game, which way do you go, Scott?
Oh, yeah, that's a tight question there. Luckily, we have a lot of time to think about that, but that is quite a conundrum.
It certainly is. And the way I look at it is I kind of go, Spider-Man is a game that will go from point A to point B. A little bit of open world in there, obviously, right? As you're swinging through Manhattan and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, that story is going to end in probably 20 hours, 25, maybe 30 if they were able to stretch it out to 30 hours. Then if you take a look on the other side, if you want something long form, like I'm talking 100, 200, maybe even 300-400 hours, Starfield's your way to go. So which way are people kind of going on the fence now? It's dude, if you are a PlayStation, Scott, do you put out Spider-Man in the same month of Starfield?
Well, I think it's an interesting idea that you have. Do you just concede that month? You let it go to Starfield. And I think that might be the choice I would make in that situation. Because it's going to be the biggest combat showdown of the year right there. And although both are huge stars and they will sell in their own right, they're going to be compared for certain. Like the same way that I think that was Horizon that launched right before or right after
Breath of
the Wild. Yeah. And that was just, I don't think that was the right decision for that company at the time.
So this summer we're getting Burning Shores. Speaking of Horizon, right? And we'll be talking about tomorrow on tomorrow's show. I just saw an article drop. We're gonna grab that for.
You're excited about that one,
dude? I cannot wait to get back into some Horizon. I've been on a Horizon kick there with Colin Mountain and VR, and now getting back into Aloy's story, and we'll talk about that for tomorrow. But when it comes to Spider-Man going up against Bethesda, dude, if I'm PlayStation, it's funny because I was talking to my wife about this morning. I'm like, if I'm PlayStation, I think I'm just moving. I haven't officially announced it. The actor kind of slipped, made a massive mistake in my eyes, and kind of gave their kind of stole a little bit of that spotlight, right? But I think
Yeah.
the spotlight goes to Bethesda that month for Starfield, and I think you kind of want to move away from that. Let people, unless you're at the very end of September, because Starfield comes September 6th, right? So it's right at the very beginning of the month, just as kids are kind of getting back into school and things like that. But at the end of September,
Oh,
beginning of
that's gonna
October,
interrupt. That's gonna interrupt everybody's beginning month.
and not mine. I'll be there, but dude, day one play it. Let's go. I'm very excited to get into Starfield. But for Spider-Man, do you just move over to October, maybe even November, kind of get out of that spotlight a little bit, and then
A
own the
little bit.
month the following month?
I think that's a good idea, unless you're really banking on Bethesda to kind of drop the ball on the way to the table, and they have a really buggy launch and they really don't land solid. Then that might be an opportunity to put another strong competitor right next to it. But if they come out and they have a pretty decent solid launch, then I would go another month away from that, just to kind of get that mind share back in the people.
No, absolutely. I think Spider-Man is gonna lose sales because of Starfield, right? If you're PlayStation, go, how do we capitalize on Spider-Man's success and make sure that we take that month to own that month? Dude, you get out of the way of Bethesda. Like it's funny to think of for this year, heading into the Game Awards is gonna be incredible to see that lineup of Game of the Year discussion, right? You're gonna probably more than likely have Starfield, unless we get a Cyberpunk launch experience, right? Which is, honestly, we are talking about Bethesda, so we all know about the Bethesda jank and all that kind of stuff. So that is very possible. There's a possibility of that happening. Will it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got fingers crossed that it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But then you have Spider-Man coming out from PlayStation, and then you have Nintendo in there as well with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Dude, we got all three this year kind of going head to head for the Game Awards. What an exciting year this is. Everybody has something per their platform, or if you're fortunate to have them all, dude, you got a full year coming here at the end, starting summer, I would say, right?
And we're stacking that, we're stacking that on top of our whole previous 2 years. It's been incredible.
Yeah, and then not to forget as well, that Insomniac is also working on Wolverine. Right?
Yeah, I really want to see more of that. And I don't think we have any details at all.
We have like nothing on that, right? So let's get back into Andy's article here. As he says, a September release for PlayStation flagship 2023 game would put it up against, obviously, Starfield, which was recently confirmed for September 6th. However, the wording of Todd's tweet could suggest PlayStation's window isn't set in stone, so it could also theoretically be shifted to give both titles distance, right? Which we kind of mentioned. Bill Roseman, Vice President of Creative at Marvel Games, has described Spider-Man 2 as, quote, everything you love, end quote, about the game and Spider-Man and Miles Morales, but more, Scott.
Okay.
Dude,
making that even bigger.
Yep.
I don't think it took Corey very long I'm pretty sure he did a completionist run on Spider-Man #1. I don't know if that was a very short game, but now I'm thinking, have the launches of Spider-Man games, these Insomniac ones, have they been solid or riddled with bugs?
No.
The PC version was clean.
Dude, it was clean. Like, it was spot on. It is a fantastic game. So if you are a PlayStation and you are looking to battle up against Xbox, Spider-Man is probably your easy go-to with Spider-Man 2 and Insomniac. Because Spider-Man 1 came out, dude, that game was polished. Like, it was fantastic. It felt like the joy of swinging through the streets is just like, yo, this is how it's supposed to be done.
Oh,
and
then
you get into all the characters and the villains and stuff. So good.
That's the meme that'll be told throughout time. Really makes you feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. Well, there is that side.
But it did.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, dude, I'm definitely curious to see when PlayStation announces the release of. But according to the voice actor of Venom, Todd, he is going to be interesting. That's, man, I don't know if you really want to go up against Bethesda's game for Starfield, just because it has been in development and anticipated for so long. You just kind of move out of the way. I think you give it some space. I think that might be the
Well,
better move.
they are separated by console, so hopefully they both experience a full, a good launch week, a good launch month, and that sets the tone for a lot of what the support for that game will be down the road.
Yeah, I think the way to do it is if you're gonna launch in September, you do it at the end of September. I don't think you do it like the week after or the week before. I think you just move clear out of the way of Bethesda and let them have that spotlight. And then here's what PlayStation does, dude. Here's what
Or
PlayStation does.
do you put it out in August?
No, I think you wait until afterwards so that you keep that mind share afterwards. It's just like how they used to line up E3. They would let Xbox go first, and then they would end off E3 so they keep all the mind share. I think that's probably what they're going to do here too. They'll come at the end of September, if not the very beginning of October. That's my prediction. Mark it down, Scott. We'll see what happens. Dude, let's get into
No, I think you're pretty good.
You think I'm what? Sorry?
I think you're pretty good. I think that's pretty close.
Time will tell. We'll see. I've been wrong a few times. Netflix's Gears of War movie taps Dune and Doctor Strange writer John Spates. Scott, are you excited for a Gears of War movie?
I am. I'm nervous, but we've had some good TV adaptations lately.
We have.
I'm really hoping this one stays on that side.
This is Angelique Jackson over at Variety.com. Netflix live-action adaptation of the popular video game Gears of War moves one step closer as an Academy Award-nominated screenwriter John Spates has boarded the project. Best known for co-writing Dune Part 2, and Doctor Strange. Spates will now take on the challenge of adapting Gears of War, one of the game's richest and most acclaimed video game sagas, with over 40 million copies sold. Scott, there's a lot to play with here, man. There's a lot of games. Gears 6 is currently in development, so like he's got a whole library to pull from. Where do you think John goes in first? Do we start right from the very beginning for those who have never kind of been in that Gears world, or do we kind of like you can't come here at the end, man? You can't start at 5.
No, I can't. You can't come in at partway through. I think it has to be Emergence Day, E-Day they call it. That's when the locusts first strike, and I think it'll have to follow that, unless they're really gonna do like the opening hour is about the Cog Wars when they're human on human fighting before that day. That's the prequel that is explored in Judgment, and they could begin there. But I think it's going to be E-Day. You're going to watch the ground rip and open up, monsters come forward, and then the response to that afterwards.
Absolutely. Quote, "We're thrilled to partner with John and the Netflix team to bring Gears of War to life," end quote, stated the coalition. Quote, "John is a master storyteller with the talent for creating epic science fiction universes, and he truly loves Gears of War. We couldn't ask for a better partner to honor our franchise and deliver an authentic story to our fans," end quote. Dude, I'm excited. This is cool. We're like you say, right? We're starting to see a lot of this adaptation come over and work really well. Obviously, just coming off The Last of Us. Whew, man, oh man.
Yeah.
Like that sets a high bar. Now, granted, this is a film, not an actual TV series. Kind of going in, they could easily do a TV series if they wanted to.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, there's a huge amount of story to pull.
Yeah.
It is going to. There's the filler is just a whole lot of chainsaw and viscera, but that's what you like if you're in Gears of War.
Dude, it's a highlight of Gears, right?
Man, when I was a kid, I used to be within 1 foot from the widescreen TV playing Gears of War. It was all I could see. That was when I discovered I'm immune to motion sickness.
That's fair. Dude, here, let's get into the next one, as David Carousel over at PSU has this to say: Crash Team Rumble will launch this June, with a closed beta for players who pre-order this April. Crash Team Rumble was a heavily teased Crash game until it was finally revealed officially at the end of last year. Now we have a brand new reveal trailer, which shows off a whack of gameplay, while also announcing that it will launch on June 20th, 2023, with the closed beta running from April 20th to 24th. For players who pre-order the game, Crash Team Rumble is a 4 versus 4 multiplayer game in which players will step into the shoes of the franchise popular characters to rumble for fruit, crushing or crashing your opponents along the way. Scott, I don't know, man.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put it out there. I give this game 6 months.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna have legs, eh?
I don't think it's gonna have legs at all. I really don't. I think people are gonna jump in for the nostalgia of Crash. Crash has been on a pretty good run. Crash 4 was a fantastic game. But I don't think it's got any legs to
CTR
stand
was the
on.
last one I played.
Oof, you're way behind, dude.
Yeah, many years behind now.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
was very late to get on Crash, though.
It could be a blast and it could take the world by storm. I just don't know, dude. We've seen a lot, like we've seen multiverses come out and then just vanish. Like, that game came out,
Yeah.
it came out hot, and then all of a sudden nobody's playing anymore, right? We see a lot of games just coming out and they're there for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then they're done. So I'm giving it 6 months.
Yeah, that's scary. Being online, I really hope it has more potential than that. You could support it, add game types in, that sort of thing. So there is a potential here, a framework, but you are correct. Unfortunately, we see a lot of these small projects kind of collapse on themselves.
Yeah,
This kind of
so.
cutesy, small scale multiplayer.
Yeah, if you put a small team on it, maybe you're okay and can keep it alive, but I don't know, man. It's Crash. Is that really the direction you want to take Crash? I think I'm a bit surprised to see him going in this Rumble format.
Yeah.
4 versus 4. I don't know. It's just one of those there. Let's pick it up. You got some friends over. We'll play for the weekend and then pack it away.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that are really into Crash. I wanna see their opinion on this. Actually,
Yeah.
I have not heard.
Absolutely. We'll see what they think and see if this game has legs at all. You know who has some legs right now, so Scott, is Ubisoft, as they've revealed an internal development AI ghostwriter designed to save narrative teams time. David over at PSU once again, Ubisoft has revealed a new AI-powered tool called Ghostwriter. Remember Ghost Rider?
Wasn't that Nick Cage?
No, it was David. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I was gonna go with David Hasselhoff. I was thinking of Knight Rider. That's another one. Yeah, sorry. The Ghost Rider that has been internally developing as a tool to help save scriptwriters time by taking care of smaller though still time-consuming parts of writing a game, like barks and other background NPC lines. I think this is a kind of cool tech.
They've been referring to the NPC barks as people. So if you're thinking of Skyrim, any of the Elder Scrolls games, those are barks. Okay. Oh my, Talos today, you know.
Barks, yeah, just as you kind of stated there, Scott, so I'm going to skip that part. They can also be 1 or 2 lines you hear walking by an NPC in an open world game. Small lines that can do wonders to immerse you into the world of the game when executed well. So yeah, it's really kind of...
Do you have an example of that, actually? There's one that jumps out of my mind.
Oh, really? You have an actual line from an NPC?
That actually stuck out, yeah. There was
I got nothing. What do you got?
There was a moment I was playing, I believe this was Chaos Theory. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
Okay.
And I think this is in Hokkaido. I'm even narrowing it down to because I remember it being a Japanese theme. You're going through and these NPCs are talking about, have you heard of the ninja? Death's ninja. And he's talking about how everybody just keeps disappearing. Items we need, people we need, and it's you. They're talking about you.
No, that's very cool. I like when they add that nuance in the background, right? And when it's taken care of. But there's somebody who writes that dialogue. So they're trying to simplify that and move it faster. One of the biggest things when it comes to video games is how long that process takes in order to make a game, right? Using this AI tool, that could help simplify things. Dude, look at the Watch Dogs Legion. The fact that you can tap in and take any character within that game, but all these characters have a personality. They have line, they have dialogue, they have all this stuff. So by using this tool, hopefully that could knock off some time for the developers to then focus on getting the game out sooner and into our hands to hopefully enjoy. Here's what I don't want to see happen is that it starts writing the entire game for us.
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of criticism in regards to this announcement, this revelation, and a lot of people are really angry towards Ubisoft, asking why not just hire more writers. But that's not exactly what it's about. This is tedium that they're eliminating. This is not the whole script being written.
Exactly, right? So they're still going to write the main game, the cut scenes, all that stuff. They just want all those NPCs in the background to feel like they belong there and to help have this tool kind of free up some of the time of those who are creating all those dialogues to do that. And then hopefully it kind of cuts
again,
down
I'm thinking of Elder Scrolls again. You don't want the same NPC with the same voice speaking to himself every time you walk through the village, and that's what everybody saw with Oblivion. This could negate that.
Right, absolutely. How many times have you heard the same piece of dialogue as you hear it over and over and over again as you walk by certain scenarios within games, within the world, right? Like,
There's only one that I really, really like, and that's must have been the wind.
yeah. So you think about Watch Dogs, you think about Far Cry, the latest one there, Far Cry 6 as a whole populated. Like Ubisoft is known for having these massive open world games with all these people populating the world as well. How do you kind of free up the development time and then implement it so it still feels like it's well lived in? And then maybe this AI tool is a way of doing that. We'll see what happens when it comes to the final versions of stuff. But
AI tools have already been used in the past. Left 4 Dead. That's the best example I can. The director.
There you go. So, dude, speaking of dead, Battlefield Legacy sunsetting announcement. Sorry, dude.
Brutal.
as we close in on 15 years, the release of Battlefield 1943 and Bad Company 1 and 2, we are announcing that their journey is coming to an end. Starting April 28th, 2023, Battlefield 1943, Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 will be removed from digital storefronts and you will no longer be able to purchase them. This is in preparation for the retirement of the online service for these titles, which will happen on December 8th of 2023. Scott, not good news, but really, at the end of the day, if no one's on there, you're keeping the lights on for who?
Yeah, that's kind of it. It's a natural step in the circle of life for games, and this has lived a very full life. Coming up on 15 years for 1943. That's the one I haven't played personally.
Right.
But seeing Bad Company 1 and 2 go is quite bothersome because I wanted to see more of that content in Portal to bring it into the future.
Yeah.
But really what I want to see is a Bad Company 3.
Well, I think it's funny because I was going to ask you, do you think we'll ever see Bad Company 3? Because everybody loved 1 and 2 so much and really wanted to see more of that. And then they just went away from it completely.
Yeah, they really did. They've gone, this is the third release, I believe, since Bad Company 2. And it's been different. Everything's much more serious. Bad Company is not serious at all. There's a lot of different characters that are wacky. And it's a whole different kind of breath on the same idea. So I hope with all this serious kind of tight nature in 2042 that's not really working very well, I hope they kind of reverse back to Bad Company 3. Bring back some of that nostalgia.
Well, I think there's an opportunity now, right, coming off of Battlefield 2042, where people are at a different point. I think with that franchise, then maybe Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 3 could be a breath of fresh air, and hopefully maybe spotlight the company or spotlight that franchise in a new light moving forward.
They tried to do the operator thing, and it wasn't very good. But in Bad Company 1 and 2, it was good. That's the strange part to me. It worked back in 2012.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And a lot of things change over the course of a decade. So, right? So I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get it, but games like this just don't last, right? They don't linger around forever. We're not getting Mario over and over and over again, unfortunately, when it comes down to it. And game preservation is always a little bit concerning, Scott. At the end of the day, right? So
it is worth noting before we move on that this does not include Mirror's Edge. At first, it was released that Mirror's Edge was also being shut down. That is not true.
Well, that's good news, I guess. Anybody still playing that one?
If you like Mirror's Edge, I have number 2 and I love it.
Oh, that's fair, dude. Do you love what's out today, though? Let us know. We got one game. What do we have?
We have a Nice Death on the Nintendo Switch and PC.
Just like that, everybody's going to wrap up today's show. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, this is ITG Daily. We bring you the hottest in gaming news. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. And we'll see you inside the game.